Autograph hunting has been a favourite pastime for generations, but few have taken the hobby as seriously as Andrew Broughton. He has what must be one of the most comprehensive collections in the country, and it gives an interesting insight into the lives of famous people.
23-year-old Andrew Broughton from Derby started his collection as a school project when he was in his early teens. 10 years later, it's built up into one of the finest autograph collections in the country, with over 1,200 photographs and signatures ranging from politicians and royalty to film stars, captains of industry and TV personalities.
I chose to do horror films, which I was interested in at the time, and it was a suggestion that I should write to the BBC in London for some material which might help my project along. Well, it was Peter Cushing at the time in the horror films. I wrote to the BBC, they forwarded the letter, and within 2 weeks there was a big envelope sent back with about 5-6 stills signed and a personal letter from Peter Cushing wishing me luck with my project, and I was really surprised to think they had taken so much time and not using a secretary and writing to me personally.
And it's the letters Andrew's received from the powerful and famous which makes his collection so fascinating.
I find more often than not now, it's the way I word a letter to these people, it's just getting through to them. I suppose there's a certain amount of vanity in some of them, not being disrespectful to them, but they like perhaps to write back to me personally in view of the collection that I have, which I always explain.
And among his most treasured possessions are the cards he received for his 21st birthday, shortly after he'd been involved in a serious car accident. And pride of place is the card from number 10. And that was followed by another card at Christmas.
James Thatcher especially was very kind. He said, usually the Prime Minister won't sign a personal card as a birthday card, but on this occasion we'll make an exception, and I think they chose it themselves just for me. It was smashing.
The Reagans too are among his favourite people. They've sent him a number of signed photos. His most recent came the other day in time for his birthday on October the 22nd. And Nancy's signature reveals something not many people realise, that she's dyslexic.
If I write to Mrs. Reagan, care of the embassy in London, they go to the diplomatic pouch and they get to her personally, and she usually always instigates to a reply. But owing to her being dyslexic, which you probably didn't know, she signs the photograph and gets the inscription put on by somebody else. And
I noticed that her signature, in fact, it looks like a child.
Yes, it is. Dyslexic means that you're word blind and you can't write properly. She can't join the letters up, and the letter ends are like U's or upside down.
Andrew keeps meticulous files of all the people who write to him, because some who may be unknown at the time of writing later have achieved fame.
I wrote to Roy Jenkins, the President of the European Community, and she was his personal secretary. She wrote back enclosed in a signed photograph. It was signed, yours sincerely, Sarah Keys. Well, I hold on to all the letters, and over a period of time, you never know if they're going to become famous, and now, of course, she's almost as famous as Cecil Parkinson.
But one set of signatures which has eluded him so far, no matter how hard he's tried, are those of our royal family. But now, thanks to a friendship built up through writing to a former commissioner of Swaziland, Sir Brian Marwick, he's achieved his goal. Apart from the royals, only one other person has refused to give him an autograph, and that wasn't a head of state, but a female television newscaster, who shall remain nameless. I quickly hasten to add that all Central's reporters have pride of place. Suffice to say that the newscaster works for the other side.